Welcome, everybody. This is Laura Brawley with Nanny Care Hub, and we are here for episode 1 of my new podcast, Job Searching Sucks, for those who love the work but not the search. We are going to jump right in, and I am so excited to have you here. So, some weeks it will just be me, but other weeks we are going to dive in talking to agencies and candidates like you, employers, tax people. I want to talk to whoever can help you have a less sucky, more effective search. I'll also be highlighting jobs and answering candidate questions and doing anything else that's going to be helpful. So, what I need to hear from you is what's going to be helpful. So, tonight we're going to start with episode 1, the big picture job search frame. I get tons of questions. I get people sending me resumes to look over. How do I write a cover letter? What's a profile? What's a portfolio? Help with interviewing. And I do lots and lots of coaching around all of those things. But everything starts with the big picture job search frame. Everything. So that's where we're going to start this podcast. So everything in your job search should be framed around the job that you want to get, starting with your resume, your profile, your portfolio, your cover letter, the agency applications, your interviewing. Every single thing should be filtered, framed around the job that you want to have. Because remember, the person reading your materials and talking to you, whether that's an agency owner or staffer or it's a parent, they're seeing you through that filter. They have a job in mind. And so you need to make sure that everything you give them, whether it's written down, whether it's digital online, whether it's you talking, video, in person, it doesn't matter. Everything that you give them has to reinforce the idea that you're a great match for that role, because that's the only way you're going to move forward. Lots of nannies have this idea that if I just present my resume and they see how qualified I am, then of course they're going to know that I'm a great match for the role. No, you need to hand feed them the information they need. Do not assume they're going to connect the dots, because many of them don't connect the dots. They are overwhelmed and overflowing with candidates. So you need to do the heavy lifting for them. So, as you're doing all these things, it doesn't matter where you are. If you're just starting out, if you're finishing up your resume, if you're in the middle of interviewing, the questions you need to ask yourself over and over again are right here. First, what role do I want to land? Do I want to be a nanny, a traditional nanny, rota nanny, travel nanny, weekend nanny, whatever the case is? Maybe it's a family assistant. Maybe you want a hybrid role. Maybe you want to be an NCS. You need to clearly define on paper and in your mind what role you want to land. And yes, if you're looking for multiple roles, I'm here to give you the hard truth that you're going to have to tailor your approach, which includes your documentation and your interviewing for each individual role. It is no longer a one size fits all, if it ever was, industry. So if you want to have a rota job, everything needs to focus on why I am going to be a great rota nanny for this particular role. If you want to be an NCS, same thing. If you want to get a hybrid role where you're part nanny, part family assistant, again, you need to focus in on that. And I know it's a pain. I know it's incredibly difficult to tailor everything to a role, but that's what you have to do. So here's the question. What are the parents looking for in their ideal candidate for this particular role? And when I say parents, just substitute agencies, because agencies are by default working for parents. They're using their expertise to search for the parents. So they're putting themselves in that parent state of mind. So what are they looking for their ideal candidate for that role? I want you to go through all your documentation. I want you to go through your interviewing responses, all of that, and filter it through this question. Now, it depends on the family, not the role. So let's say you're going for a nanny role, right? Traditional nanny role, nothing fancy, no rota, no travel. You don't want to be hybrid. You just want to do great childcare. If you have a family who has a 6-month-old and you have a family who has a 12 and 13-year-old, they are going to be looking for very different things, even though the role is quote unquote nanny. So it depends on the family. And it doesn't even depend on just the ages. Let's say you have two families who have an infant and a toddler, right? Maybe one family is really focused on forest education and getting the kids outside and play based learning and no academics and adventure and excitement and busyness, right? And you have another family who has the same age kids, but they're more focused on the home environment and a calm day and more academics and reading and some simple arts and crafts, right? What they're looking for depends on the family. And this is really important. We know this intellectually, but what I don't see it showing up on are resumes, profiles, and in interviews. So you don't have to, for every single job, you don't have to create a brand new resume, but you may very well want to tweak it. And you definitely want to customize your cover letter and the way that you interview to make sure that you're hitting what the parents are looking for in that ideal candidate. Okay, next question. What education, experience, skills, and secret sauciness do I have that are relevant to the role? So, when I say education, it could mean formal education, but really it's know how. It's professional development, it's just lived experience, it's reading books, it's going to webinars, it's all of those things. It is your know how. Experience, self explanatory, skills, hopefully self explanatory. Secret sauciness is what I call all those intangible things. It is your nannying philosophy. It is your priorities, your values, your personalities, the traits that you bring to the job. It's all those things that make you unique. So figure out what education, experience, skills, and secret sauciness do you have that's relevant for that role. And remember, it is about what the parents value, not what you think they should value. I hear from lots of nannies who've been doing this for a very long time. And the number one thing I hear is, I have 25 years experience. Why is that not enough? I have a degree. Why is that not enough? Yes, experience matters to parents, but probably, in fact, rarely do I see it matter as much to parents as nannies feel it should matter, right? If they have a nanny who has 5 years experience and a nanny who has 15 years experience, hey, to them, often that's equal. The other things are what make one nanny stand out over the other. So it's about what the parents value. You have to put what you feel is important to the side and focus on what they value. And then how do those things benefit the child or the parents? Figure out what problems you're solving. What pain points are you easing? And I need to see that as a recruiter, as somebody who's looking at resumes for family clients. That's what I want to know. When I look at your resume and I see the bullet points, if you just give me a list of responsibilities, that doesn't tell me anything because guess what? The 20 resumes I've looked at previously, right before yours, they all had those same bullet points. So you need to tell me what are the benefits you're bringing. Yes, tell me the responsibilities. I need to know that. But then you need to connect those dots for me. What benefits are you bringing? What problems are you solving? What pain points are you easing? Those are the questions that you should be answering. So, final thought. Everything should contribute to the message that you are the right person for the job. Think of it as a puzzle, right? I have this job description in front of me as an agency or as a parent. That is my filter. Anything that comes at me, resume, cover letter, interview, DM, whatever, I'm looking at that job description as a filter and saying, does this person show me that she might have real potential for this job? So everything that you, again, hand feed to that agency or parent should support your claim that, hey, I'm a great candidate. In fact, I think I'm the right person for that job. You have very limited space and limited time and limited attention to get your message across. So everything has to do a lot of work. So make sure everything contributes to the message that you're the right person for the job. So again, people say, when I say this, people go, "Oh, I know that. That's exactly what I do." And then I look at their resume, or I do a mock role play with them for an interview, or I do a mock email exchange, whatever the case is, and they're not on message. They're going all over the place. And yeah, they throw in here and there those things, but it is not the focal point. And that's what I want you to remember. It needs to be, you need to be really committed. You need to really be focused and make it your priority that everything should contribute to that message. And that's the reason everything needs to be tailored, because you can't contribute to that I'm the right person for this particular role if you're trying to be the right person for 10 different roles, right? It doesn't work. It dilutes the message. And before, if you're old school like me, 15, 20 years ago, you could do that. I'm a great candidate. Now find the right role for me. That is not how the market works now. The role is the guiding piece. The candidates have to fit into that. And yes, that makes it harder, but it's the way it is. And it also helps you to really focus in and sell yourself to agencies and to employers. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Tell me if it's helpful. Tell me if it's not. Give me the questions that you have. Give me the topics that you'd like to talk about. Give me ideas for guests that you'd like to hear from. Give me all of that. If you have got questions or thoughts to add on this, please join the conversation in the Job Searching Sucks Facebook group. Yes, that is what I actually named it. Actually, Facebook wouldn't let me call it Job Searching Sucks. So it's Job Searching Suck, because I guess it's against the community rules to put the S on sucks. So if you're searching for it, it's the Job Searching Suck Facebook group. But please join me. There's going to be lots of other stuff. This podcast, we're going to have the discussion group. I'm going to be offering free downloads in there. We're going to be answering candidate questions. We're going to be rehearsing interview questions. We're going to be doing lots of stuff in there for 2026. So please join me. And also, don't forget to visit nannycarehub.com/job searching for all our job search resources. I am slowly moving everything over to that new page. I'm reconfiguring the whole Nanny Care Hub because, yes, I have too many things, but I love them all. So I'm refiguring it. All the job searching resources are going to be on this particular page. I'm just starting to build it out. So keep visiting and you'll find all the new stuff there. So thank you for joining me for episode 1. This is going to be a weekly episode. And again, I love to answer your particular questions. So please go into Facebook, into the Facebook group, and submit them. Now, the Facebook group is only for candidates. There are no agencies allowed and there are no employers allowed. So there's that one caveat. If you're an employer listening to this, yay for you. And we have a separate group for hiring. It's called the Nanny Hiring Blueprint. So you can join that, but you can't join Job Searching Suck. All right. Talk to you all next week.